For updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akiri-Jola joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning to you, Rufai. Yeah, let's start it off with the earthquake in Turkey. And as it stands right now, the Nigeria Football Federation has actually issued a statement and said that every player, every Super Eagles player that actually applied their trade in the Turkish Super League are safe. As a matter of fact, I actually spoke to Ahmed Musa this morning, and he confirmed that he is safe and several of the players there actually safe. Of course, they actually put out a tweet yesterday actually confirming that they said that the Nigeria Football Federation is sad about the unfortunate earthquake, and the president has actually reached out to the Nigerian players based in Turkey, and they have confirmed that they are safe. So that's actually a good one there. And the one that got everyone scared was the Ghanaian superstar and also former Chelsea and Newcastle star, talking about Christian Atsu. As it stands right now, information just coming in about some few minutes ago from different sources in the UK, Daily Mail, The Independent, have said that he was trapped in the rubble and they were fearful that they might not be able to recover him, but they say that he's alive as we speak, but he's still trapped in the rubble. Of course, we heard that he plays for Antalyaspor in Turkey, and he and the sporting director in Antalyaspor were trapped in the rubble while several other players had been rescued. And we are happy to hear that right now that he's alive, and it's just a matter of time he will be rescued. So a very, very heartwarming news there, because that would have been quite a massive blow. But away from that to what seems to be a seismic shock, Manchester City at the moment are facing not an existential crisis, but they are literally in the eye of a storm right now, no thanks to their financial dealings over the years. And they said they've breached over 100 financial regulations, and a lot can happen, and that can actually not just impact the future of the club, but probably change the trajectory of the club. They've spoken about the fact that there have been several off-the-books payments, fake sponsorship deal from the Abu Dhabi group, the fact that their former coach, Chakwena Roberto Mancini, was being paid on and off the books. And so these are some of
we
the...
knew now. They were lying to themselves all this while. We knew now.
a lot has been said, and according to Sky Sport, they are saying that point deductions could actually be made, and several recommendations can be made to the board. They are talking about the fact that titles might be stripped away. They're talking about the fact that they might have to pay. But one thing is certain, this is not the first time, this is not the second time Manchester City find themselves in this ugly situation. They've gone against UEFA, and time again, they've always come out tops. They've always come out unscathed, because they've got an army of lawyers that will go out there and literally marshal their case, fight their cause, and get the team back on track. Pep Guardiola has actually spoken and said that if he finds out that they lied to him, that he might pull the plug and actually leave the club. We'll have to wait and see how that one actually pans out. But let's talk about Leeds United. Leeds United have finally sacked Jesse Marsch, the American, and there were talks about the fact that there was massive reluctance from the American board in Leeds United not to pull the plug, but results weren't going his way. They were on a free fall, and it was just a matter of time. Last week defeat was just probably the straw that broke the camel's back. Away from that, Anthony Joshua will be back in the ring, and we are hoping this time around for good. Of course, Jermaine Franklin, 1st of April, the O2 Arena. Anthony Joshua will be back in the ring. A lot of people are saying that this is probably just another fight that Anthony Joshua should get across. But we've seen this happen time and time again. Andy Ruiz Jr. shocked him, and we are hoping that he can rise to the occasion. But the point is this, for Jermaine Franklin, he actually lost to Dillian White in his last fight, the first in 22 fights for the 29-year-old American. Anthony Joshua knows he will face a stern fight, and this will not just be one of those fights that probably will add to Anthony Joshua's numbers. He needs a massive bounce back, and Eddie Hearn knows this. And let's see what actually happens. 1st of April, the O2 Arena, certainly that will be in the offing. And finally, LeBron James is on the cusp of becoming one of the greatest players of all time. 36 points separates him and Abdul-Jabbar from that particular record to become the top player in the history of the NBA in terms of points accrued. and this is his evolution over the years, and his style has gotten dapper, and of course he's become an icon over the years. But now the point is this: tickets are being sold not just for a premium, but literally an arm and a leg. Usually, the Super Bowl that is coming up in a matter of days, tickets are being sold for $6,000. We are hearing that tickets are being sold for this game against OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder, tonight for as much as $94,000.
It's vintage. It's vintage. I mean, what else can you say? But just some updates. Fencho Tahiru Fencho, if you know him, sport journalist in Ghana, on what's it called platform now? City Group platform. He said we just spoke to Iago Katulu, and he confirmed that Atsu has indeed been rescued and taken to the hospital.
Okay, good.
He was found this morning after being trapped under the rubble for 26 hours. And, also the extent of injury is not immediately known. Keep us in the prayer. So he's been taken to the hospital, and this is a top sport journalist. And I think the Ghanaian Football FA also in their tweet also confirmed that. But real quickly, let me come to LeBron. But based on Manchester City, I mean, Aaron, we knew they were cheating all this while. It was all crystal clear. From the deal, the Robinho deal, we knew it was cheating all the way. Chitty, bang, bang. But now it's catching up with them. But, like you said, they've got good lawyers. They can come out unscathed. But it doesn't dampen the integrity. But if they are found guilty, probably, if Pep Guardiola needs a club, Chelsea is there. Anyway, moving on. I'd like to say this concerning LeBron James. It's an all-time high for him. And this is history in the making. And when history is in the making, that ticket alone can be a memorabilia for a lifetime. That I was there on that night, that LeBron James, equaled or surpassed Jabbar's record. And that's why it's been sold for the high. You talked about the Super Bowl. Every year the Super Bowl is a cash cow. I'm not surprised tickets are sold for $6,000. Let me even shock you. The advertising revenue is crazy. As at 10 years ago, the advertising revenue for 30 seconds commercial of the Super Bowl was $3 million.
Yeah.
1 minute commercial was $6 million.
A lot has changed.
And it's gone up. And I can tell you that 30 seconds commercial is well over close to $6 million US dollars now. So that just shows you the height of the Super Bowl and the fact that people are charging $94,000 for a great night for the man himself, the wonder himself.
Whether he's still the greatest of all time is left to be. It's still being argued.
But he's in the pantheons of the great. You can't take that away from him.
Just a quick one on Leeds United. Despite the fact that the club admitted that he was quite instrumental to them remaining in the league last season, they still are doing away with him because, according to their records, he's the second most unsuccessful coach. Just David Gray is the only one who has done worse than or performed worse. This season, 8 matches in 32 games, abysmal. So now the outlook is for who will take on the Leeds job, seeing as they're teetering on or bordering on relegation, to see if they can remain in the Premier League this season.
You seem to be very optimistic that Anthony Joshua will bounce back against Jermaine Franklin. I guess you say that out of patriotism. But if you look at the record of the opponent, Franklin, he's 29.
Yes.
Anthony Joshua is 33.
Yes.
He has only lost just one fight. In 22 fights.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm going to shock the world. So look at his level of confidence. What does that tell us about his determination to take on Anthony Joshua? But of course, naturally, as Nigerians, as Anthony Joshua as a kinsman, our sympathies will be on his side. But it would be nice to see him come back into the ring and then, re-establish himself as the true heavyweight that he is. The second point has to do with the point about Manchester City.
Okay.
Yes, you are right. In 2020, UEFA, imposed similar sanctions. And they went to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, that's CAS, and they won. What again is a guarantee, because you are saying, Manchester United, Manchester City, they have an array of very good lawyers. No, I think the details are probably different. They are only linked in the fact that both cases are about transparency and accountability. Managers' remuneration, players' remuneration, and even Manchester City, they are saying now that they are surprised. I think we should wait to see what steps they will take. However, the only part of it that I find surprising at my end is that part of the penalty could include expulsion from the Premier League.
Yes.
Now, if it goes the other way and you have Manchester City, being excluded from the rest of the Premier League, even if the case may take a while, you will be giving Philip to Arsenal fans and all these Chelsea.
I'm sure
who think that.
I'm sure Arsenal fans are already keeping their fingers crossed, hoping that the worst happens.
Other teams who came second under the titles they won have already started picking up their chances
Yes.
as to them emerging as
What we
winners.
just want from you is Pep Guardiola to come and help us teleguide this,
Anyway,
Here we come.
thank you very much.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.